Hey, good morning, guys. It's Sunday morning. I've kind of had a little bit of a lapse yesterday and wasn't able to get this thing fed up, and been sitting here all morning trying to get everything just right. This is crazy. It's like making your own movie or something. I'm having a hard time getting the lighting just right, and I didn't have any makeup for my old shiny balding head either. So, but anyway, we're gonna pick up on week 2 of becoming a follower of Christ. We're in a 10-week series. I'm going to try to do these once a week for the next 10 weeks, or 8 after today. I also am live recording them so that I can email them to you. If you're interested in having it on email, or you can listen to it in a different time, feel free to shoot me a message with your email on it. I'll send it to you. I can send you all of them. It doesn't matter, however many you want. So with that in mind, reminder that last week, becoming a follower of Christ was one who, as they go, shares Jesus with all they encounter. So keep that in mind as we go. We'll catch up with each one of these as we go through them. What does it mean to be a follower of Christ? This question was asked during an interview with a 10-year-old who has been a follower of Christ for 3 years. What does it mean to be a follower of Christ? The 10-year-old responded, leaving behind your earthly possessions and following Jesus. What is so hard about following Jesus? The 10-year-old, it's harder to talk about it with friends who don't follow Jesus. What makes it easier to follow Jesus? The 10-year-old replied, the older I get, the harder and easier it is, because older friends, it's getting harder to talk about it, and it's getting easier as I learn more about following him. So what are you learning about following Jesus? The 10-year-old replied, through church and reading my Bible and through my family and friends who are already followers is how I'm learning to be a follower of Christ. So I ask you this question. What does it mean to be a follower of Christ? In Mark chapter 1, Mark was not the one of the top 12. He was not one of the followers that followed with Jesus everywhere he went. He was actually an acquaintance of a couple of key biblical figures, Peter and Paul. Mark's gospel is based on Peter's sermons to the Roman people, as his writings are the record teachings of Jesus challenging us to know and ultimately do and follow his words. Now, this is why the Christian life is referred to as a walk, and the Christian way is called a path. Jesus did not say, have a seat and let me teach you a few things. He didn't say, let me list you 12 steps to become a Christian. So you have to realize that becoming a follower of Christ is not a 12-step program. We've got those for all kinds of things out there right now. I'm actually involved in a couple of them that are really cool. But becoming a follower of Christ is not a 12-step program. Instead, Jesus said these 2 very serious, powerful, joy-filled, complicated, easy words. Follow me. My concern is there's a confusion on what it means to be a follower of Christ. How does one truly learn to follow Jesus? By learning the 2 stories of Jesus, by walking the life he walked, by getting on the same path he traveled, and by acting just like he did in every situation. In other words, buying in to what Jesus was all about. Mark is recording all of these teachings and sermons. His desire is to teach others what it means to be a follower of Jesus Christ. So again, I ask you, what does it mean to be a follower of Jesus? And we get caught up in man's definition, titles, positions, importance, etc. The labels on the doorways of the offices, the pastor, the associate pastor. I got scared to death. I took my first youth pastor's position in 1998 for Pastor Stan Formby in Durango, Colorado. I've known the man a long time. He knew me a long time, which really surprised me as to why he hired me. But when I arrived at that church, the office door to my office had 2 placards on it, youth pastor and one that scared me to death, associate pastor. I didn't buy into that. That wasn't why I signed on. I signed on to be the youth guy. But little did I know that when we accept a role with Christ, when we become a follower of Christ, we serve in all positions. I'm not a pastor of a church, but yet I've pastored many people. So to keep that in mind, as you become a follower of Christ, you become a servant of the Most High, and his calling is upon you to go into all the world and preach the gospel. Let me get back to my notes and quit chasing rabbits here. So we get caught up in man's definitions, but what it truly means to be a follower of Christ is to be one who follows Jesus wherever he goes and buys into his mission. What is his mission of Jesus Christ? What is it? What is it here? What was he here to do? And what did he commission us to go and do? To seek out that which is lost so that it may be found. That's our mission. That was his mission, to seek out that which was lost so that it may be found. This is not to build your own pizza menu or build your own burrito. I kind of like that deal, but that's not what this is about. Becoming a follower of Christ is not a self-serving menu. It's not something that you can pick and choose what you want on the plate. You can't pick and choose the stuff you like about being a follower. You have to follow him wherever he goes and buy into his mission. Jesus went into some pretty rough things. He spent more time with sinners than he did with Christians. He was strong enough to do that. Keep that in mind. But what was his mission? To seek out that which was lost so that it might be found. Let me give you 3 points to help you. I'll close this up. To help you learn how to be a follower of Jesus Christ. 1, watch what Jesus does. He heals, he sets free, and he serves. Those are 3 key elements. He heals. He goes to those who are in need of healing. He sets the captive free. But most importantly, he serves in everything that he does. Number 2, notice how he does what he does. His power, his peace, and his compassion. He's a very compassionate person when it comes to dealing with those in need. But he walks in power, and he walks in peace, and he walks in compassion. Number 3, learn what matters most. Why does he heal and set free? So that they may serve. See, it's all about teaching others to become what we are, followers of Jesus Christ. That's the ultimate goal. His mission is what matters most. To seek out that which is lost so that it may be found. So week number 2, a follower of Christ is one who follows Jesus wherever he goes and buys into his mission. Buy into his mission today. Become a follower of Christ. Keep up with these weekly deals and know that I love you. I'm praying for you. If you need anything at all, feel free to contact me on here. I'll get back with you. Shoot me a message with your email and I'll send you the audio. God bless you and have an awesome day.